Alrighty. We're going to be getting started up in just a second. I'm going to be brewing some decks for the pre-release today. I'm also going to be recording VODs of it, so that way I can do individual videos. And what I'm thinking is I'll do three brews in a video, but we'll have to see how long the brews actually take, because I'm thinking the first few are going to take me a little bit as I'm still learning the cards, and then later as I really get to know them, it should take me less time. But yeah, really tired today, so no face cam or any of that. But yeah, and we won't be going for too terribly long. I just wanted to stream because I didn't yesterday, and yeah, we'll have fun with it regardless. Alright, let's see. Did that do what it was supposed to do? It did indeed. Awesome. Alright, so I am using AetherHub to brew all my decks. Y'all know I use AetherHub for literally every deck that I can. You know, every deck that I can put an AetherHub link to, I do. I think it's a great website. It's very fleshed out, and yeah, it's really nice. I have already brewed up one deck. It's a simple mono green Stompy. I just wanted to make sure everything worked with the deck builder, and yeah, it's kind of nice. So we're also going to be using Scrawfall. So we'll just go ahead and pull this up and go to Advanced, and we'll probably have it on Future Standard for the most part, because Future Standard allows you to search everything, well, just as it says. That's going to be in the Standard in the future, and we'll do it by converted mana cost because that's how I prefer to view things. So I don't know if I'll just be doing the deck tech core deck breakdowns for the videos, for the VODs, or if I'll be doing the whole brew. I'm thinking maybe just the deck techs and deck breakdowns, which I'll be doing at the end of each brew. So let's see. Let's get started with our mythics, right? Because that's for the most part, your mythics are going to be your build arounds, and yeah, there are a lot of good mythics with a lot of different branching paths. So, a couple builds I want to try: mono white knights in general. I want to do a rogue deck. I have a mono green Stompy, as I said. I would like to do a food deck, an adventure deck. Kinrith's gonna happen. 5-color deck is gonna happen. Corvold deck will happen. A lot of these are going to happen, so have no fear. We'll hit everything. So starting us out, I don't know how good this is going to be, but I'm going to throw it over here so I can keep track of it, because we may end up using it. Aside from that, we're going to be doing a Knights deck, but I don't think we're going to be playing Cirque Win. Embercleave might make it, so we'll throw it over there. Again, just as a reference. Maybe the Cauldron, depending on what kind of Knight deck we're going to do, because obviously there's going to be a ton of Knights, so I don't think we can search it on here, but we can search over here. We go to Advanced, not text, commander, sets, formats. We want to leave it on Future Standard. Let's see if we can search it by creature type. Is there a type, or choose from the list? Creature, subtypes, no. artifact types. Creature types. Okay, so let's see if Knights is here. Oh, Knight. So Knights, future standard. Let's see what we're dealing with. Auto's fun, and we want it by converted mana cost. Alright, so these are going to be all the Knights that we can play in future standard. All the Knights that we'll be looking at for the pre-release event, pretty much. And there are a ton. Okay, so I like to start at the back and work my way forward. Because obviously a lot of the lower costs we're going to be like, oh, that's so good and so worth it. Oh, that's so good and so worth it. But a lot of these higher cost ones, we're going to be like, nah, you know, not so much. Alright, so Sir Conrad, maybe, but that's a hard maybe. Boulder and instant damage to the player, exile the top card. You play that card this turn. I don't think Sir Kara, whatever, the bold, is gonna be good in this deck. Whenever attacks, other creatures you control get +1/+1 until end of turn, and it has first strike. It is 5 mana though, so probably not. 3 mana. Is that a +1/+1 counter? Can't be blocked. No. Yeah. See what I mean? Nothing here that we even wanna try and play. Let's see. Cavalier of Thorns, probably not. Cavalier of Night is a maybe, right? Because it is. We're mostly going to be looking at the Mardu color set, not necessarily saying that we're going to be playing Mardu. We may play Boros, we may play Mono White, we may play Orzhov, you know, anything. Or, well, I guess we probably wouldn't try and do Rakdos, but you probably could do a Rakdos Knights. We'll see. It's bad for discarding. Draw that many cards does. Yeah, probably just looking at Cavalier of Night. I don't really. Cavalier of Dawn may be okay. Again, it'll depend on our deck, but Cavalier of Night's the one that I'm leaning towards the most as far as these Cavalier cards go. I feel another striking nice. +2 trample and haste. I don't think this is worth it because it's 5 mana and it's only a 3/3, and like if you're casting this to give another creature haste that it would actually affect, you would have to have more than 5 mana, and like that's super late game. And I don't think we're trying to make our Knights late game. Truefire Captain is a Knight. Some cards you never realize what they are until a set comes out and you're like, oh hey, you fit right in, right? That's not bad. Truefire Captain is a hard maybe. That's pretty good actually. Resolute Rider, one of the newer cards. 2 mana, gains lifelink until end of turn. It's 4/2 for 4 mana. 3 mana, gains indestructible until end of turn. Oh. That's an interesting one. Ogre Errant attacks another target attacking Knight, gains menace until end of turn. Probably not. Game Ranger, grade 2. Probably not. So at least 3 black mana was spent to cast this spell. Paladin enters with +1. Yeah, probably not. No. A lot of these are just immediate no's. Fireborn Knight does have double strike, but I still think it's a no. No to Sky Blazer. With Paladin haste 4/1 at least. And +1/+1 counter on it. Probably not. Menace, sacrifice another creature or an artifact. Standard strike creature. Planeswalker, probably not. Deathless Knight. Haste, whenever you gain life for the first time each turn, return Deathless Knight from your graveyard to your hand. I mean, that's not bad, but not this deck. Ardenvale Knight, or Ardenvale Paladin, I'm sorry, it is a Knight. 3 mana enters with a counter on it. I'm sensing a theme with this adamant counter shenanigans. Sky Knight Legionnaire is only a maybe because it has flying and haste. Raging Redcaps, probably not. Oathsworn Knight. Just battlefield 4, attacks each combat. I think we try and play this. It's only 3 mana. So let's see. Let's, what do we, all rarities? Did I go back to that? Yeah, we'll do it by mana cost, so it's 3. Oathsworn Knight. We'll throw it in there as a maybe. Murderous Rider. Destroy target creature. Playing the ball for you. Lose 2 life. That seems really good too. On the bottom. Yeah. Murderous Rider is probably going in here. So that's O. We need to go up to A. It's literally right there. Midnight Reaper is a hard maybe. But then we're looking at 3 creatures that cost 3 mana. Maybe more. We're gonna have to trim the fat on some of these, you know. Enters battlefield, Scry 2, probably not worth it. Midnight Reaper may very well be worth it. Guess we can always do it here. Let's do that just because I prefer to have it as a base. So yeah, Midnight Reapers are hard maybe. Lost Legion, no. Dev, probably not going to be playing Abzan Knights immediately. Though I do think Abzan Knights are pretty good with Knight of Autumn and Corpse Knight and ramping and getting, was it Knight's Charge? I guess this only shows as a Knight's card, not everything that deals with Knights, so. Diamond Knight, probably not. Attacks or other knights you control get +0. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the menace is kind of nice, and the effect is kind of nice. Ardenville Tactician. I don't know why some of these cards have different art on them. Tap up to 2 target creatures for 2 mana. Instant speed as well. That's not terrible. Even though it is a common, that's really not terrible. 3 mana, claim contender. Enters the battlefield. If you control another knight with the top 5 cards, you may reveal a knight or equipment or legendary artifact. Holy shit. Put it into your hand for the rest of the block. So, yeah, claim contender probably getting played. Well, hell, it's, what, 3 mana? We can just find it. Scroll down a little bit. Worthy Knight, I definitely want to try and play. Wintermoor Commander. Knights you control. Yeah, Wintermoor is probably getting played. Did I add it? I did. And again, we'll have to go back and trim some of these. At the beginning of your upkeep, each player draws a card and loses 1 life. I mean, if we go for a straight up aggro build, that wouldn't be terrible, right? Menace. Spend X last X is the number of knights you control. For 1 mana, that could be really good. Or it could just bomb out if you're getting controlled. Yeah, I'm gonna say no on that, I guess. Can't block. Target creature gets +2. It's interesting, but I don't think it's good enough. Order of Midnight, return target creature card from a graveyard to your hand. Can't block. It's a 2/2 flyer. Order of Midnight's a hard maybe. Inspiring Veteran is a yes. Probably we'll be doing 4 copies, right? Safe to say we'll be doing 4 copies. Destroy target artifact. Corpse Knight is always nice. Black Lance Paragon. There's benefit of target knight gains death touch and lifelink, and it has flash for 2 mana. Ho ho ho. So yeah, Black Lance Paragon needs to happen. Oh. And sorry, by the way, if I'm not, not too interactive today or too uppity. I really just wanted to do this stream because, like, this is what I want to do anyways, is brew decks for the pre-release event. And I figured some of you might be interested, some of you might have some cool ideas. So, I figured I'd at least turn on stream. Alright, so. Excuse me. Literally have to cough like every 5 seconds. Now the Evan Legion's great. Venerable Knights, okay. Fervent Champion. Okay, so what colors are we actually working with here? What's our top end looking like that we may want to build into, We have the Circle of Loyalty, 6 mana, and the spell costs 1 less to cast for each knight you control. Creatures you control get +1/+1. Whenever you cast a legendary spell, create a 2/2 white knight creature token with vigilance. How many legendary spells do we have thus far in the deck, though? None. Literally none. Is there any legendaries I was thinking about adding? Any hard maybes that were legendaries? No? Okay. Let's see. What's the realistic outcome of us? How am I trying to say this sentence? How likely are we to play this? What's the range? It costs 1 less for each knight you control. Say we play a knight, turn 1, 1 on turn 2, 2 on turn 3. That's like best scenario, right? 1, 2, 3. That would be 4. So this spell would only cost 2. Come turn 4. So 2 mana, play this. All of your other knights get +1/+1. But if you only get 3 creatures, it costs 3. But you can still cast that by turn 3. So you'd have it by turn 4 plus 1 mana left over. Given your knights survive. That's a hard hard given there as well. But I think it's viable. Definitely think it's viable. The only thing that I'm questionable about is the legendary spells. We can look at that in a second. See Embercleave. Costs 1 less to cast for each attacking creature you control. Enters the battlefield attached to target creature you control. Gets +1/+1, has double strike and trample. Okay, so that's 1 less for each. So 1, 2, get 2 down. So again, you're looking at turn 4 with this, right? Because turn 1, 2, get down creatures. Turn 3, let's see, get down 2 creatures. And again, this is best case scenario. Come turn 4, you swing in with all 4 creatures. This only costs 2. Because if on turn 3 you only play 3 creatures, you can play this come turn 4. For sure, right? Because hopefully you'll have the 3 mana. If you don't have 3 mana, if you haven't curved out to 3 mana, you won't be able to do it until you have 4 creatures, right? And what kind of card is this going to be going on? Let's try and remember that as well. I mean, putting it on a 3/1 certainly isn't bad, right? Makes it a 4/2, double strike, and trample. That's pretty crazy. 2 something with death touch. 2/2. 2/2. But this buffs everything. So if we end up getting an Inspiring Veteran down plus an Ember Cleave, you know, that can make this card go up to 5/2 or 5/3. I'm sorry, with double strike and trample. That's crazy, actually. And then what about Cauldron? Spell costs 2 less to cast for each creature in your graveyard. The thing is, this would require your opponent to be killing your stuff, which maybe as a sideboard option, I guess. You know, because if you have 5 Knights in your graveyard, which is very likely if your opponent's playing control, then this only costs 2 mana. And 2 mana makes it where instead of your creatures dying, they go to the bottom of your library, or you can pay 3 mana and 2 life and return a knight to the battlefield, which can be crucial when playing against control, right? Because you're not playing a spell, so they can't counter it. Right? You're still playing a creature, so they can still remove it, but they can't counter it, which again could be huge against control. So maybe in the sideboard. As far as the main board goes, though, I don't think so. So we're looking at Embercleave and the Circle of Loyalty. In order to get my best grasp on whether or not the Circle of Loyalty will be useful, we're going to need to do another advanced search real quick. So type 1, I mean legendary, can't we just... Super types, legendary. Okay, yeah, so that works. And future standard. And it's any of the legendary, yeah? Whenever you cast a legendary spell. Yeah, okay. And then we want to do this by converted mana cost for sure. So Chandra's Regulator is a 2 mana legendary, and it is in the Mardu color scheme. Sort of has a loot ability. Not too many red cards though, right? Is this only creatures? No. Okay. It just seemed a bit odd at first. Nah, I mean, she's good, but... I don't know, I'm thinking about Ashiok and Davriel, but... I'm not quite sure how I feel on either one in the Knights deck, honestly. Gideon. Gideon might be really good in that legendary deck. Kaya probably wouldn't be bad. Linden might not be bad. Oath of Kaya definitely wouldn't be bad. Oath of Kaya would actually be really, really good. Soren's not exactly what you're looking for there. Teferi's not in the color scheme too, no. Ongroth might be decent just for the static passive. I'm not really thinking, so Sorin wouldn't be bad. I think we go for Embercleave Knights first, though. We can do a Circle of Loyalty, but I think those are two different decks. You know, I don't think you're playing these two cards together. So we're gonna cut. Excuse me. We're gonna cut Circle of Loyalty for right now. We will search for Knights once again, and formats, Future Standard, Knights. Search with these options. And we'll need to look at other cards that affect Knights, right? So how can we do that? What's the best way I can think of? I guess if we put Knight into the flavor text, right? Let's try this. That seemed to work. Yeah, okay, nice. Alright, so we want Fervent Champion, right? Because it costs 3 less to equip things, and this costs 3 to equip, so if we need to equip it or re-equip it, it's 0, right? So Fervent is down here in the 1 mana somewhere. Somewhere. Over the rainbow. There's Fervent. Go ahead and add 4 copies. This deck is going to get built out very quickly. And we need to remember, if we're going to be playing, well, playing a low curve, so we can probably get away with 20 lands. We'll see. We're going to run it at 20 lands, and we'll go from there. So yeah, we can build up to 40. We're already at 19. I want to play Venerable Knight. I really do. But Knight of the Ebon Legion might be better in its spot. Maybe I can play both. So where is the Venerable Knight? There we go. Deafening Silence might be good. Each player can't cast more than 1 non-creature spell each turn. So we can play as many creatures as we want, which is fantastic for us. But it also makes it to where the control players can't just, like, draw cards, control, draw cards, remove, draw cards, you know, on and on and on. I'm thinking we try it. Alright, so yeah, still on that. These creatures fight each other. 2 mana Joust. It's not bad early removal. I do think I want Knight's Charge in here. Ah, fuck. I just wanted to reduce the number. Can I drag these? I can't. So once they're there, they're where they're gonna be. Okay, so right now, as far as removal goes, oh yeah, we probably wanna do that. Yeah, 4 copies. Is that our deck? As far as removal goes, we only have Murderous Rider. How are y'all feeling about this? Because aside from this, we would need 20 lands, right? Statistics they're coming. They're in the future. Yeah. So let's see. What do y'all think? Yo, love, that's awesome. Nights are already fun, so can't wait. Yeah, yo, dude, what's up, Mac? Oathsworn Knight. I think I have it in there. 4 mana Sorin. Yeah, I did want the 4 mana Sorin. That's correct. Though I think this is really just leaning towards the Embercleave, right? Trying to get it on something. This is just like aggro Knights. Which Corpse Knight may not be bad. Given we're playing so many cards, Corpse Knight really may not be bad. So what would we... Oh, and I forgot Knight of the Ebon Legion too. I hate how I can't organize this, actually. That's kind of annoying. But, you know, it is what it is. Maybe we don't run 4 Embercleave, maybe just 3. It's a legendary after all, right? I think I do want 4 copies of Murderous Rider. The Night Reaper is really good. Okay, so that freed up 2 slots. Would rather have Corpse Knight or have Corpse Knight or Knight of the Ebon Legion. That's a tough one. Oh, there's also Doom Foretold. Doom Foretold would be really good in that in the deck that we had the Goblet thing, right? Let's see. So I don't know how I feel about Joust. We could also throw in 2 copies of God's Willing to try and keep our creatures alive. But we can never protect it from red, where we bounce the Embercleave off. This is a bit of a toughie. Ebon Legion for low curve. Alright, we'll go with Ebon Legion. You talked me into it. So, Ebon Legion was in Corset, yeah. that. Then, of course, we would need to add our lands. Unfortunately, you can't hit standard, I don't think, and have Throne of Eldraine cards. No. Alright, so just have to do all formats, all sets. Searching for lands. Let's do it this way, actually. Sorry, trying to remember all of the names, just not gonna happen. So white, black, red. Can we, is type land here? Types land. Yeah. Future standard search. No cards found. Maybe we can't do it exactly these colors, including these colors. How about that? Is it still future standard? It is. I'm missing something? Type is land, future standard, white, black, red. At most. Seems to work. We got a sorting on these. Sort by color. There we go. Alright. Problem solved. Fantastic. Here's a battlefield tapped unless you control planes. 4 mana and taps, basically 5 mana, create a 1/1 human creature token. For an aggro deck. I don't know. Draw a card, then you lose life equal to the number of cards in your hand. That's rough. Untap, you may put target creature card from your graveyard on top of your library. You have to control 3 or more. Creature control get +1/+0. Okay, well those are all interesting. We're gonna be using the blood crypts for sure. Is it all one word? No. No, it's not. Okay. Bear with me on the lands. It's gonna take a second. Godless Shrine and Temple of Silence. Oh, wrong thing there, huh? Temple. Read Sacred Foundry and Temple of Triumph. While we're here, right? And again, we're gonna go back and fix these, so have no fear. I think that's it, yeah. As far as those go, are there any of these special ones we want? I don't think so. So what is that for the set? Puts us at 60 exactly. Wow. But we don't want that. So we're really not using that much red. Alright, so red, white. No. Okay. Hey, look at that. It's kind of useful. Red, white can go down there. We actually only have one thing of black red. I think do that. What is the other black red? What is it? What's it called? Gain 1 life. Bloodfell Caves. Ugh. Fortunately, it's what we kind of need here. So let's go. Bloodfell Caves. 1 copy there. And then I like to have at least 1 copy of one copy of Plains, 1 copy of Mountain, and 1 copy of the Swamp. There we go. And then what you do is you hit Export Import, give it a name. We'll call it Eldraine Mardu Knights. Awesome. Import. And then boom, it builds the deck for you. Aggro. Save. We have a lot of 3-drops in this deck. Well, we'll take a look at it more in the future. Let's go back to my decks. So yeah, we have the Mono Green Stompy, we have the Mardu Knights. Let's go to get a deck hub, deck builder, and we can clear this back off because we've already saved the other one. Alright, and we're back to square one. Not all sets, just Throne of Eldraine, search. Oop, not lands. Let me reset filters. Throne of Eldraine, search. There we go. Alright. And now let's set this back to future standard, I think. Tournament Grounds for lands is untapped for your entire deck. Good stuff. Mardu Knights is tough choosing. Historic Knights is going to be even worse. Yeah. There's even the Rakdos Knight. Yeah. Alright. And I think Tournament Grounds is only a commander card, if I'm not mistaken. Let me... What was it? It was Tournament, yeah? Tournament Grounds, yeah. Spend this mana only to cast... Oh no! Only to cast a Knight or Equipment spell. Yeah. Yeah, that's really good. Let's... Tournament Grounds. Let's go here. I think I'd rather do that. Let's take out Bloodfell Caves. That. Mud in. Alright, where is it? Tournament Grounds. Copies. And save. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Alright, so Throne of Eldraine, Mythic Rares, search. Oh, I had tournament up there. Whoops. Whoops, whoops, whoops. Alright, so other decks I want to do. I do want to do a Harmonious Archon deck and a Garruk. I don't know what his name is. So many decks. Oh man, so many fun, interesting ideas. That's why I'm starting today. 3 days early, right? Trying to get all these decks built up now, so. We can go for our Harmonious Archon deck. I wanted to go for a go wide, like you make a whole bunch of creatures, and then you turn them all into 3/3s, right? A whole bunch of weaker creatures that are just easy to get out. Or while we're still on the Knights, we could flesh out all the other Knights decks, build a Circle of Loyalty Knight deck, build a Cauldron of Eternity Knight deck. Honestly, you could probably play these two in the same deck together. Go for Orzhov Knights where they just like come back, you know? Play like 3 of these, 3 of those. Throw in some of, what the hell is it? Some of these. I'm gonna have to look back up the legendaries. All sets. Throw in Corpse Knight. I'm forgetting the Knights now. Future Standards, fun. We are going to want to look at legendaries, but for right now, let's just go to Knights so I can get these fleshed out. Sorry, I was just here, so it's like, you know, might as well go ahead and do it. I think Knight of the Ebon Legion makes it. Maybe. Venerable Knight, I do think we want that. Blacklands, what? Oh, it's one word. Haha. I like how sometimes Wizards of the Coast just decides 2 words are going to be one, and sometimes they decide that 1 word that's supposed to be, that 2 words that are supposed to be 1 word are going to be 2 separate words. It's a mystery how they choose their names, but it's kind of fun, right? I do think we want Order of Midnight. We'll see. Oh no, wait, 2 O's. Not 2 R's, chance. That's a maybe on that, right? Worthy Knight doesn't really help us here, I don't think. Well, Sword of Loyalty would be making a whole bunch of 2/2s instead of a whole bunch of 1/1s. We'll see. Sorry if that's really annoying. I probably shouldn't do that. Let's see. And we'll probably make some cuts here and there. Missed that search up. I'll get it right eventually. So white, black, at most these colors. And then future standard. Legendary, white, black, most these colors. Future standard. There we go. So what did I say? Gideon, Kaya, Oath of Kaya, Soren, Sir Conrad, Interesting. I think we want Soren, right? Not Oath of Kaya. I want Gideon. This is a very, very costly deck. We're probably gonna need, well, and then maybe we do like that. It's a bit costly. Maybe legendaries do we actually have? Soren, Oath, Gideon. So that's what? 4, 7, 10, 13 legendaries total. I guess that's not bad. Alrighty. So and then what is it? It's not Isolated Chapel, it's Godless Shrine. Temple of Silence, I want to say. Are there any other ones that we might could want? Where are we at? We're in type, just want land, white, black, at most, future standard. Search, and by color, so that makes things easier. I said white, black, didn't I? Whatever. Create human creature token. I mean, it would be just decent with Corpse Knight and decent with the Circle of Loyalty. And I think that's about it. Well, it'd be decent with Cavalier of Night. I think that's about it. So you control 3 or more planes and enters untapped. I like Castle Lochlane and Witch's Cottage. Do like both of those. Let's see. Do we want a Scoured Baron? Maybe. Really may not be bad. So maybe on the Scoured Baron. Scoured Barons. I do think I want to play 3 copies of Lochlane and 4 copies of Witch's Cottage. So let's go. Witch's Cottage. Castle Lock. No K. Yeah, no K. Lochlane. No. I actually don't think I want either of the white ones. Castle Ardenville, maybe, but like, I just don't see us using it. Playing mostly black anyway, so that split still should be fine. Might even be playing one too many planes. We'll leave it as is. Something's happening. Oh, somebody just subscribed. Okay, well, thank you. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the hospital, whatever you want to call it. We're just brewing up some decks today. Sorry if I sound a little quiet and a bit out of it. I am very tired and really just wanted to brew, and I knew I was going to be doing this anyways, so... wait, we gotta be calling this Eldraine. Orzhov Knights. And, yeah, that'll be fun. I can worry about everything else later. So, this is probably more of a mid-rangey deck, y'all think? Recommended lands, 27. Yeah, okay, game. Keep that in mind. Alright, so there's Orzhov Knights, Mardu Knights, Monogreen Stompy, deck builder. Yep, clear the deck. Clear the deck. And let's reset our filters. Let's take another look at the mythic rares. So far I've just built 2 Knights decks, yeah. Let's try and get away from Knights decks. Let's get into... Let's go play with... kind of want to try a Fairy deck. Kind of want to try a Giants deck. Oh, you know what? Let's play... I don't know if we'll be playing 3 copies of these or not, but let's go ahead and throw them in here. I want to play a deck with the cards that say when you draw your second card, you know, each turn, do X effect. I want to play a deck of those, or just a deck of draw cards, or you know, that whole effect. So let's see. Brazen Borrower. Am I like greatly underestimating the effectiveness of the skill or of this card, or what? Personally, it doesn't seem super duper awesome, fantastic, but you know, could just be me. All right, so let's search by converted mana cost, and I'll just skim through these real quick, and I've already read a bunch of them a bunch of times over, so I should be able to do it a little bit quicker. It's mostly in the red-blue, if I'm not mistaken. There's Mantle. We can go back and flesh it out later. I'm just trying. I don't think Bloodhaze Wolverine is going to get played, but you know it is a card with that effect, so might as well go and throw it in there. Forget about Fairy Vandal. I guess because it came out so early, right? Improbable Alliance, pretty cool. Oh, we need to build a deck with Hushbringer. I want to make a mono white aggro deck with Hushbringer. Just seems way too awesome. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure y'all do. Y'all probably know like better decks and all that for this than I do. But that's okay. By the way, have y'all seen the event where everybody gets to play every card? Like everybody gets four copies of every card in standard to play, and it's in October. It's like a little tournament thing. It's not necessarily a tournament thing. If you get 12 wins without getting 2 losses, you get the ultimate grand prize, which is 1 copy of every card in standard. So, yeah. I don't know if y'all have seen or heard that, but that's coming in October, which is pretty nice. And before that, you get to have another. It's basically the same thing, except it's not a tournament style. You get 12 matches, but that's it. You just get 12 matches to test out, whatever decks you want, which is still pretty fucking awesome, Anyways, back to this. Trying to just keep it to this ability, and then later we can go back and add, you know what I'm saying? There's also a card in War of the Spark, Thunder Drake, that had this effect on it, but I gotta say I'm not too interested in playing that card here. It may fit its way into the deck, but we'll see. Gadwick will probably find its way into the deck. Is that it? Is that all of the draw second cards kind of cards? It can't be, right? There's gotta be at least 1 or 2 that I'm missing. Maybe that's it. Maybe I was overestimating how big of a deck this could have been. Bane would probably go in this deck. Five mana is just not good enough for that Griffin to be worth it. I guess that's it. Let's look and see if this is actually enough. So you can add these cards into a draw deck for sure. Although common, uncommon. So maybe you don't, right? Whenever you draw, create a 1/1 blue fairy creature deck with flying. That's not bad. Fairy Vandal's not bad. These two are meh. So yeah, let's clear this deck out. That didn't exactly go the way we wanted it, huh? Let's look at We can do that mono white deck I wanted to do, mono white aggro. So then if we're doing that, we can do white search. Okay, there we go. I was about to say, is that really all the cards from Throne of Eldraine that's white? Didn't think so. Converted mana cost. Creatures entering the battlefield or dying don't cause abilities to trigger. We'll have to remember that for our own thing. So, like, Charming Prince would get negated by Hushbringer. Happily Ever After is a deck I want to try and build around as well. Let's look at events. See, I think we can do exactly these colors for this. Equal future standard. Yeah, nice. I'm learning. I'm learning. Giant Killer might just make it. So it's right there. Running 2 copies. Probably increase that later. We'll just have to see. Well, I don't know. Forget there's a Johnny's Pride mate. So if we could find a way to gain a lot of life, that'd be fun. Well, Springer does have lifelink, so we can just get a bunch of creatures that have lifelink as well. Excuse me. Excusez-moi. Oh yeah, I forget there's Hero too. Oh man, so many ideas for decks. Alright, so let's see. Is it anything or is it just creatures? Creatures. Okay, so my artifact entering the battlefield would work. So use Ancestral Blade, right? We probably want Deafening Silence, right? We want some form of card draw for sure. Gotta remember to check back. Chance, right? Yes, it is. It is Chance. You can call me Chance. You can call me Doctor. You can call me whatever. So long as I know that you're talking to me. Looking forward to Brawl. Yeah, I plan on focusing on Brawl once it gets here. Since I have the event coming up, I really want to try and focus on that right now. You playing the 3-mana knight that digs for your other knights and legendary artifacts. I believe I was in the 2 other Knights decks. Could always consider a Karn to get legendary artifacts. That is true as well. See, y'all think of things that I would have never even thought of. Hmm. And Mono White's losing some good cards. There's some decent power here, but I wanna really be able to slam if I'm gonna play it right. Sunhome Stalwart isn't bad. Okay. So I'm thinking we may go Shepherd of the Flock. Gideon. Needs something. Some kind of boost. We could use Unbreakable Formation, right? That makes all of our things bigger. So what did I say? Gideon and what else? Shepherd. Shepherd should already be over here. There it is. Need some Eldraine. Need some more power early, you know what I'm saying? Things that smack. Or this could be our Archon deck. We could do a mono white Archon deck. Throw in things like Raise the Alarm. Oops. I don't know if I kicked a card out or not. I think I'd want Unbreakable Formation in this. At least as a 2 of. I'm going to be trying to create a whole bunch of creatures. Are there enough knights that I want to? Let's see. Well, hell, it'd probably be easier if I did this. Yeah. So exactly white, knight, future standard, white knights, future standard, search. Alright, are there enough white knights that we want to build that into this? 4, 4, 4, it's 12, but again, with this we're looking for knight or equipment. Or legendary artifact. No, we don't really have artifacts or equipments in this deck. I can't think of any artifacts or equipments we want in this deck either. I mean, what is it for Hellion? We could probably play a little bit easier with this, but Hellion's so costly. I mean, Ardenville Tactician isn't bad, right? 2 mana, instant speed, tap up to 2 target creatures, tap 2 of our opponent's creatures. Still need 11 cards. I'm gonna just go for some removal. Some like general play. How many creatures do I actually have? 14, 18. We have plenty of creatures, so I could just go for. Sorry that I keep going back and forth with all this, but this is how I build my decks. So you are getting to see, I guess, into the process. All right, so although if we play something like, what is that casket? Glass casket. If we play things like glass casket, we might get play knights, right? Because this is removal and it's an artifact. It's also like Prison Realm, right? Conclave Tribunal, that kind of stuff. Where the hell is Prison Realm? Oh, there it is. Alright, so I think. Oops. We'd at least be playing 3 copies of Prison Realm. I mean, I'd like to try out Glass Casket, but I don't know. Oh, forget about Angelic Exaltation. Oh my goodness. So many cards. I don't think Angelic Exaltation is what we want here, but you know, it's nice to be reminded that it exists. I do think we want at least 2 copies of Conclave. We need some card draw. Need some card draw for sure. There's Divine Visitation. We're not creating too many tokens though, are we? 1, 2. And Harmonious Archon kind of goes against Divine Visitation, so never mind. Never mind on that. Let's go back to the beginning. Oh, we could use God's Willing in the deck, I guess, to keep our stuff alive. Is there apostrophe? No apostrophe? No apostrophe. Alright, so we just need 4 cards now. What do we do for these last 4 cards? Do we have enough life gain to put in a Johnny? No. No, we do not. What do y'all think for these last 4 cards? We do Finale. Finale of Glory. Let's see. Let's go to Advanced. Let's see what kind of card draw we have. That's it. Okay. So not a whole lot. Just happily ever after, gain 5 life, draw a card. Each player draws a card though. Okay. So not much card draw in the future in white. Top of the statue may not be terrible in this meta. You know what? Let's just do Dawn of Hope. It gives us more tokens, right? And if I don't choose something, I'll stay staring at the same goddamn thing all day. Alright, so let's go land, white, future standard. Did I miss something up there? Including these colors? I don't know, is the lands bugged? Is there something I'm doing wrong here with most of these colors? Not converted mana cost, actually, I want a super bright color. So we do want Castle Ardenvale and Idyllic Range. Sure, we can try it out. So Castle Ardenvale. What was the other thing called? Idyllic Range. Is that right? No, there's a Y somewhere. Is it there? Yeah. Idyllic Range. Idyllic. I don't know. Anyways, that's 4 and 4. Now I think we just add in not pains. So I hope this deck brings the pains. Just add in a whole bunch of planes, right? Back up to 60. Cool. So ELD. Oops. Mono white aggro. Save. Deck builder. Clear. Okay. Alright. I'm thinking one more maybe. One more and we'll call it. So what should we do? What should we do for this last one? Let's reset filters, run about Eldraine, search. Oh wait, let's see what rares we have, right? Gilded Goose, I saw. Ironcrag Pyromancer, a card that we actually missed on that whole draw thing earlier. You're really good. We could do the Sundering Stroke deck. The Sundering Stroke Ironcrag Feet deck. Let's do that. Card each turn. Bone Crusher might make it in there. Alright, so we're not going to want it just on Throne of Eldraine because we want to have Steamkin, right? Oh, all rarities. Search. What? Is Steamkin 2 words? Is it Steamkin? What am I missing here? Oh, hyphen. Hyphen. I told you, magic. Magic will always get you. Alright, so runaway Steamkin. Let's go here. Let's go advanced. It's probably gonna be a mono red, right? Let's go future standard. Search and CMC. Oh, you know what I want to also do? We'll talk about this in just a second. Probably will end up playing Shocks in this deck, right? And we'll probably end up playing Chandras. I'm thinking. Let's see. It's not bad. That's not bad. Yeah, so I'm thinking we play the 3 Chandras. So. That one. That one. That one. Do we play Fire Artisan? Nah, I don't think so. Alright, so we probably want it, what? 2, 2, 2. It's gonna be a very costly deck. What was... wow, excuse me, voice crack. Slaying Fire, is that it? Adamant deals 4 damage at instant speed. I think I do want some of those in the deck. Let's see. Isn't there... Isn't there a 2-mana discard a card, draw a card in Standard? No? What? Hold up. Discard a card, draw a card. This is Future Standard. Excuse me. Yeah, okay. Discard a card, draw a card. Draw 2 cards, sorry. Thrill of Possibility. I think we want some Thrill of Possibilities in this deck. I don't know why I talked it all the way out. Didn't need to. We don't have Shock in here yet either. If we have other creatures, what would we want them to be? Maybe a Spear? We probably want a lot at the stage though, yeah? Maybe not with some of these costing so much. Skewer's not bad. Robber of the Rich isn't bad either. Just as a standalone card isn't bad. So maybe we throw in some Robber of the Riches. And then we could do Electro Dominance, right? Because if we add 7 mana, we can only play 1 more spell that turn. We can do Electro Dominance for 5. Hold up. Is that going to cancel it out? Let me see. You can cast only 1 more spell this turn. You may cast a card. So yeah, that you're still casting it. So the Electro Dominance plan actually doesn't really work so well. Do we have any other X cost in red besides Finale of Eternity? Or Finale of Promise? Because again, this is you may cast. I don't think so. But using it to get down even Chandra is good, right? Because we paid 4 mana basically to get down Chandra instead of her 6. It's not bad. Not bad, not bad. Bum, 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 bum. There's Repeated Reverberation. I don't know if Repeated Reverberation really fits well in that deck, though. Wait a minute, do I have Torbran? I do. I do already have him in the deck. And I have Bone Crusher Giant. Probably good on creatures. Maybe. Shock, Slaying Fire. Maybe we use Skewer. Maybe that's our topper. Good old Skewer the Critics. Y'all think so? Message retracted. Yo, what's up, Ned? Nice to have you out. Nice to have all of you out. From just being honest. Alright, so yeah, I mean looks fun, looks fun. Let's see. What are our red lands that are gonna be coming out? Future Standard. Search. Oh, shit. We have Castle Embereth. Creatures you control get +1/+0 until end of turn. I mean, may be useful. And Dwarven Mon. Create a 1/1 red dwarf creature token. Sure, we'll try them out. So Castle, and what was it? Dwarven Mon. And then it's just going to be mountains all the way out from there, I think. There it is. Awesome. Explorer. What is this going to be? Big Red? This will be ELD. We call Iron Craig Feet or Sundering Stroke. Or Big Stroke. Probably not that last one, huh? We'll call it Sundering Feet instead of Big Stroke. How about we call it Big Fred? Sundering Stroke. Alright. This way we know. We know what it is. This is going to be a combo. Decks. Alright, so we have Mono Green Stompy, Mardu Knights, Orzhov Knights, Mono White Aggro, and Big Red. 5 decks. If I can make 5 decks every day before the event, whoa, we will be having plenty of decks to play, right? Alright, so let's go back through and let's actually look at these in a visual way, in a very visual manner, right? So, I want to do Golgari Stompy as well. Every time I see this deck, I'm like, man, Chance, don't you want to do Golgari Stompy? Because think about this. Rotting Regisaur instantly makes the Great Hinge cost 2 mana. And that's a turn 3 card. So, you know. You just get down the Rotting Regisaur. Get down. Let's see. If you go Arboreal Grazer turn 1, you can go turn 2 Rotting Regisaur, turn 3 the Great Hinge, right? And something else. You could go turn 3 the Great Hinge, and hell, I don't know. You know, X creature. I guess creature that costs 2 mana. It doesn't matter. A good creature. Okay. And then it immediately gets the +1/+1 counter on it, and you immediately get to draw a card. And then on your next turn, you can go something like Questing Beast, right? Which comes down as a 5/5 instead with Vigilance, Death Touch, and Haste. That's all by turn 4. Oh, man, I want to make that deck so bad. Alright, so, do we just go make the Golgari Stompy? I really like this one because it has the ley lines, and we can make some real big Stillbanes or make our Wildborn Preserver really, really big, you know? But at the same time, man, that Golgari Stompy. Alright, let's just go ahead and do this, and think what I'm going to do is go ahead and hit the record, and we'll record this one and then two of our other. Well, if I'm going to record this one, I really want to do the Golgari Stompy. So what we may do is record the Knights. Alright, so probably going to go ahead and start up the recording, and then I'll get into it and all that. Golgari Stompy was my idea for first deck in ELD meta. Yeah, Golgari Stompy is like, Troll King is a must-have too, but 4 green seems harsh. Yeah, Feasting Troll King is a bit restrictive. So let's kick out this recording, and then I'll go here. All right. What's up, everybody? My name's Chance, and today we're going to be doing a little bit of a different video format. We're going to be doing the deck tech or deck breakdowns for 3 Throne of Eldraine decks that I'll be playing in the upcoming pre-release event, which is coming out on the 24th, which is a Tuesday. However you want to look at it, it's going to be starting up at 8 a.m. Pacific Standard or 11 a.m. Eastern Standard, and that's for the U.S. And yeah, I'm going to be trying to play as many decks, as many combinations as I possibly can. And so for these videos, I'm going to be showcasing hopefully 3 different decks. That's what I'm going to aim for, but you never know how long a deck tech or deck breakdown may take. We're not going to be actually playing with these decks until the 24th. So be sure, if you're interested in seeing one of them, you come out then and show your support then. Also, special thanks to Wizards for giving us the access to the pre-release event. So far, they've been gracious enough to invite us to, all the pre-release events since War of the Spark, I think. So yeah, it's been really nice of them to do that. But without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into this deck tech or deck breakdown. So the first one we're going to be taking a look at today is going to be Throne of Eldraine Aggro Mardu Knights. That's a whole mouthful. Now, there's literally so many different combinations of cards you can use to make this deck. So many good cards as well, so I'm sure that the variations of this deck are going to be so far. And if you have any suggestions for any of these decks, be sure to leave them down below and try and be specific with which deck you're talking about, since we are going to be showcasing multiple decks here. So the point of my Mardu Knights deck is to utilize this card right here, Ember Cleave. So those of you who don't know what this card does, it is a 6 mana legendary artifact equipment card with flash. So it does mean it can come down at instant speed, which can be very important to note. The spell costs 1 less to cast for each attacking creature you control, if I can say it correctly. So what's that mean? We have 4 creatures attacking, then this spell only costs 2, and again, it can be played at instant speed. So you play it, it immediately equips itself. It says it right there on the next line. So whenever it enters the battlefield, attach it to target creature you control, and then equipped creature gets +1/+1 and has double strike and trample. So we're attacking with 4 creatures. We can play this for 2 mana, which is very cheap. One of our creatures gets +1/+1 double strike and trample added to it for 2 mana, right? Which is absolutely insane. Whenever we're already playing combinations such as Inspiring Veteran, which is going to be boosting up all of our knights. So, and ideally, we're going to be trying to play our Ember Cleave by turn 4. So, like turn 1, play a creature. Turn 2, play a creature, or maybe play 2 creatures. Just depending on how you drew. And then turn 3, play 1 or 2 creatures again. Turn 4, you should have that 3 or 4 creature threshold in order to play Ember Cleave at flash speed, and you'll have however many creatures attacking. And the interesting thing with Ember Cleave being flash is you wait until your opponent selects where the blockers are going to go, right? And then if you can use Ember Cleave and keep your creatures alive and still deal damage, fantastic. If not, then just put it on the creature that's going to get through, right? So it's fairly simple, and it's really good and versatile that it has flash, right? Because it even means that you can cast it during your opponent's turn. Is it going to cost a lot more? Hell yeah, it's going to cost 6. But if need be, you can do that. So It's just it's just nice that it has it. So let's go and take a look at the rest of our deck, right? Because we're not just going to be playing Embercleave. We need other things to play as well. So kicking us off, we have 2 copies of Knight of the Ebon Legion, a very, very strong Knight card, and you'll probably be seeing this card a lot in a lot of Knights decks, because it's 1 mana, right? 1 mana with 1/2, which isn't terrible, but then for 3 mana, it becomes a 4/5, which is crazy. And it gains Death Touch, right? If that wasn't enough, then whenever your opponent loses 4 or more life, it also gains a counter. So like, this card is just huge, and like I said, expect to see it in literally almost every single Knights deck, almost every single Vampire deck. It's a good one. It's a strong one. Moving us down, we have some new cards here. We have Venerable Knight that reads, whenever Venerable Knight dies, we're going to put a +1/+1 counter on a target knight you control. We're all playing Knights, so that's pretty good, pretty handy. It does also come down as a 2/1, so 1 mana for a 2/1 that has an on-death effect. Pretty solid. Deafening Silence is to combat those control players. So for 1 mana, we're going to get down this enchantment, and each player can only cast. I'm sorry. Let me read this verbatim instead of trying to summarize it, and then I'll go back and summarize it. Each player can't cast more than 1 non-creature spell each turn. So we're going to be able to keep playing down as many Knights as we want. Sure, it's going to limit us to only playing 1 other card per turn, so we can only play Knight's Charge or Embercleave in a turn. We couldn't play both of them. But you can see we won't really have that problem, as majority of our deck is creatures and it is Knights. So, yeah. This is actually a really nice card. I'm glad they printed it. Moving us down, we have Fervent Champion, which is another 1 mana creature. It is a human knight, has first strike and haste, so it's going to be able to attack as soon as it hits the battlefield. Furthermore, whenever it attacks another target attacking knight we control is going to get a +1/+0 boost. And then furthermore, equip abilities, you activate that target Fervent Knight costs 3 less to activate. So say we played our Embercleave and we got it down and equipped it to a creature, fantastic. And that creature died somehow, some way, right? They removed it. So now it's going to cost us 3 to equip it, except if we equip it to Fervent Champion, where it's going to cost absolutely nothing. Now, Fervent Champion does already have first strike, and it is only a 1/1, so you're making a 2/2 with double strike and trample. So it's not the world's greatest, but at the same time, it's free, so, it's not the world's worst. Moving us down, we have Inspiring Veteran, which is going to give all of our other knights +1/+1, so fairly standard, very strong there. We have a Wintermoor Commander, 2 mana, 2 and X, basically, or 2 and star, whatever you want to consider that, for the toughness. And it does have Death Touch, and it reads whenever, I'm sorry. Let's read the first part first, right? So Wintermoor Commander's toughness is equal to the number of knights you control. And this has come down on turn 2, so more than likely, you're only going to have 2 knights, right? The one you played from turn 1 and this one. So starting out, it's just going to be a 2/2 with Death Touch. That's perfectly fine for 2 mana, given that the next effect is fantastic. So whenever Wintermoor Commander attacks, another target knight you control gains indestructible until end of turn. So turn 1, you get Knight of Ebon Legion. Turn 2, you get Wintermoor Commander. But turn 3, you can attack with your Knight of the Ebon Legion, pay the mana, get it really big, and it becomes indestructible, so your opponent can't even really do anything about it. It's just a strong mini combo within this deck. And furthermore, your Wintermoor Commander can make your creature with Embercleave have indestructible, and then your opponent's just facing a lot of unkillable threat, right? Moving us down, we do have 4 copies of Worthy Knight. This reads, whenever you cast a Knight spell, create a 1/1 white human creature token, and this is just going to act as some fodder, right, to swing in, try and kill our opponent. We're playing aggro, we're playing a whole bunch of Knights, so hopefully we can get down a whole bunch of little tokens there off of them. Moving us down, we have 3 copies of Black Lance Paragon. Now, this card is really good, and maybe even worth playing more copies of than Worthy Knight, but we'll see as the meta rolls on. So, has Flash, and whenever it enters the battlefield, target knight gains Death Touch and Lifelink until end of turn. So, Flash means you can throw this card down during your opponent's turn when they go to swing in. Furthermore, you give one of your other creatures Death Touch, which means it can defend and kill whatever creature your opponent's attacking with, and it gains lifelink, so you're going to get a little bit back from losing said creature, if you're even going to lose it, right? Uh, Moving us down, we have Midnight Reaper, which is going to give us some card draw every time one of our knights dies. One of our non-token creatures dies, we're going to get to draw a card. It is also going to deal 1 damage to us, but it should be inconsequential for the most part, right? Then we have Acclaimed Contender, 3 mana, and this one is a bit of a long one, so bear with me. Whenever Acclaimed Contender enters the battlefield, if you control another knight, look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal a knight, aura, equipment, or legendary artifact card from among them. Put it into your hand, put the rest onto the bottom of your library in a random order. So, whenever we play this card, given that we have another knight down, we're going to be able to dive in 5 cards and look for, either another knight or our Embercleave. So it's just pretty good. Now you can use Acclaimed Contender and Fervent Champion and Embercleave and branch this deck into a more equipment or a base Knights deck, and that's certainly one that you may want to try out. But as I said in the beginning, there are so many combinations of this deck that are possible, probable, and probably pretty good. That it's just gonna come down to like which one do you want to play, right? So moving us along, we have two copies of Knight's Charged, and this card reads, whenever a knight you control attacks, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Furthermore, for 8 mana, 6 plus 1 white and 1 black, you can sacrifice Knight's Charge and return all knight creature cards from your graveyard to the battlefield. Crazy, right? Absolutely fucking crazy. Moving us down, we have 2 copies of Oathsworn Knight, 3 mana, comes down with 4 +1/+1 counters on it and attacks each combat if able. Furthermore, it reads, if damage would be dealt to Oathsworn Knight, so whether it be a shock or another creature attacking it or whatever, while it has at least 1 +1/+1 counter on it, prevent that damage or remove a +1/+1 counter on it. Once you get down to 1, obviously you're going to block it, it's going to remove it, and it's going to kill your Oathsworn Knight, so it does still have like a death effect, but I don't know, maybe you take it into a proliferate deck and just boost the hell out of it, and then it just never dies. Who knows? Moving us down, we do have 4 copies of Murderous Rider, a knight that's actually really solid, and its versatility is just fantastic. So for 3 mana, and here's what I want to say about Murderous Rider: expect to see this as the new Chupacabra, right? As the new Ravenous Chupacabra, because Chup came down, destroyed something, gave you a creature. This card, same effect, but it costs 1 less. So 3 mana, instant speed, destroy target creature or planeswalker, and this card can select planeswalkers, so it's actually fucking crazy. And then you lose 2 life, which, okay. Furthermore, whenever you play this card down, it has lifelink, so that 2 life you paid, you can just immediately regain it. Well, maybe not immediately, but given time. And then furthermore, whenever it dies, instead of going into your graveyard, it just goes onto the bottom of your library, which can be better or worse depending on your deck, but for the most part, that's pretty solid, right? And then we have Embercleave, which we've already talked about. So yeah, a nice little tightly knit deck, right? It's meant to be low curve, quick, and just very bashful. And I don't mean bashful in the compliment sense. I mean bashful in the 2 separate word sense, like bash space full of bash, right? Full of smash and bash. So that's going to do it for our first deck tech or deck breakdown. And now we're going to go and hop into another one. So let's move on over to, we did Mardu Knights, let's do Orzhov Knights. Visual. Alrighty, moving us on to our Orzhov Knights deck. We're going to be focusing on some more legendary artifacts. This time, not going so aggro, more so going for the mid-range, playing things like Sorin and Gideon. We do still have Midnight Reapers in here. We do still have Knight's Charge, but really going to be taking a look at these 2 cards right here, the Circle of Loyalty and the Cauldron of Eternity. And the main point of this deck is to play these 2 and try and get the most effect out of them as we can while utilizing Knights still as well. Like I said, there are going to be so many Knights decks. I wanted to at least make 2 and have a different sort of play style with each of them. So, the Cauldron of Eternity costs 12 mana, which seems ridiculous, right? Seems like you'll never be able to get it down. However, this spell costs 2 less to cast for each creature card in your graveyard, right? So you have 5 cards, 5 creatures in your graveyard. It's only going to cost 2 mana, which is pretty awesome, right? So the effect of this card, whenever a creature you control dies, instead of putting it into your graveyard, you're going to put it onto the bottom of your library, which is fantastic, right? It's going to help you up against mill decks, which be prepared, because there are definitely going to be mill decks in this standard, in this meta, in the standard meta, whatever you want to call it. 100% for sure, I'll guarantee it. There will be viable mill decks. I've already seen a lot of the cards. It's going to happen. Now, I'm not saying they're going to be played here, there, and everywhere, but, you know, the viability of them just keeps going up and up and up. Anyways, you know, the next effect for this card, we can pay 3 mana, tap it, and pay 2 life, and return target creature card from our graveyard to the battlefield. We can only activate this card, or this effect, whenever we can cast a sorcery speed spell. So, pretty solid, allows our cards to basically just keep going back into our deck, as well as allowing us to get whatever knights may have ended up in the graveyard before we got it down back onto the battlefield. Now, the Circle of Loyalty, 6 mana, so, you know, literally half the cost of the other one. And it reads, this spell costs 1 less to cast for each knight you control, so fantastic, we're playing knights. How did that work out so perfectly? Anyways, the abilities for this card, because there are multiple, creatures you control get +1/+1, which is fantastic whenever you throw this alongside all of your knights. Okay, so again, you could throw this in that Mardu Knights deck and it would be perfectly fine. Literally, still 100% awesome. Give all your creatures +1/+1. Wouldn't cost that much, and for 4 mana you can tap it and create, you know, more knights. So it would certainly fit in there if you wanted to make the Mardu Knights deck a little bit more mid-range, and it would bolster alongside your Inspiring Veteran and just make your knights really, really huge. So we'll go ahead and throw that out there as a little side note. However, the reason I chose to make a completely separate deck is this second line right here, or third line, I guess, fourth line, whatever. Whenever you cast a legendary spell, create a 2/2 white knight creature token with vigilance. I really wanted to utilize that, so we went back and threw in things like Sorin, like Oath of Kaya, Gideon, Blackblade, all that good fun stuff. So again, these are going to be the 2 main focuses of this deck, and the rest of it is sort of complements to get us here, or complements of the abilities here. So, kicking us off, we have that oh-so infamous card I was talking about in the last deck, Knight of the Ebon Legion, Venerable Knight. Both of these cards are going to be staying the same. The numbers changed a little bit. We do have 3 copies instead of 2 copies of Knight of the Ebon Legion. I believe we have 3 copies of Venerable Knight in the other deck as well. However, we are going to be picking up 4 copies of Corpse Knight in this deck because, well, we're playing a whole bunch of knights, getting knights down with our Circle of Loyalty, bringing knights back with Sorin, bringing knights back with Cauldron. You know, you name it, we're gonna be putting some knights. And then, of course, there's always Knights Charge, which would just be crazy bonkers, right? So you have 10 knights in your graveyard, 2 of them being Corpse Knight. You just bring everything back. You're gonna deal, what, 20 damage right there? That's crazy. 10? Did I say 10 or 5? Either way, y'all understand the combo I'm going for there. We did have Wintermoor Commander in the other deck, but again, it's really, really, really effective. Blacklands Paragon, as I said, I enjoy it. It's going to be staying. One knight that I did cut a lot of is Murderous Rider. I still think it's just as effective. It's just, you know, some cuts had to be made, and if we're going to be playing a lot of it in one deck, maybe we don't play so much of it in the next, just so we can see some more cards. Order of Midnight is a card we all should have seen by now as far as the Throne of Eldraine cards goes. We can return target creature cards from our graveyard to our hands. Pretty simple, but still good effect. Midnight Reaper, again, giving us card draw. Gideon is mostly in here to proc the Circle of Loyalty, but it certainly doesn't hurt any of our knights, right? Being able to give them Vigilance, Lifelink, Indestructible, and then furthermore, the ability to exile target non-land permanent once he hits 6 loyalty is just fantastic. Oath of Kaya is going to help keep our Gideon and Sorin a little bit protected. Maybe not protected, but it's gonna give us something in return when they become targeted, and it's going to proc the Circle of Loyalty, and it acts as life gain and damage. So all around solid, solid, solid. Knight's Charge we talked about in the last deck. Murderous Rider we talked about in the last deck. Sorin is fantastic and is going to be able to give us our knights back, as well as giving them lifelink, so increasing our sustainability. And honestly, if you wanted to, you could get away with playing Bolas the Citadel in this and trying to run away with the game like that. Me personally, I'm going to stick with something something a little bit simpler. Then we have Cavalier of Night, which is going to be an awesome card for removing our opponent's creatures. Has lifelink. Also, whenever it does die, it's going to be awesome at bringing back our Midnight Reaper or Black Lance Paragon, whatever it may be that we may want back. And then we're right back here to the Circle of Loyalty and the Cauldron of Eternity. Now, just because I'm playing the Cauldron of Eternity here in this Orzhov deck does not mean that I'm not going to be playing an Orzhov Aristocrats where we're not focusing on Knights. Knights are not going to be my only focus in this set. It's just, come on, these Knights decks are literally slapping everybody in the face. They're just sticking out everywhere, right? The amount of combinations you can make, the amount of different cards you can put into a Knights deck with different numbers and still have a very viable deck is just crazy. So that's going to do it for this deck tech or deck breakdown, and now I think I'm actually going to call it at 2 videos. I think 2 videos is going to be solid, and sure, it won't be a super long video, but hey, a little 12 to 15 minute video that's introducing 2 decks to a lot of people, I think it's going to be fun. And I don't want to overwhelm people, right? And this took, what, about 15 minutes, 16 minutes? So yeah, thanks everybody for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, be sure to leave a like down below. And as I said, I believe in the first deck tech or deck breakdown, if you have any suggestions for these decks, just leave them below. I'm going to read them all. I'm going to be trying to make literally so many decks. I did live stream. I don't know when this video will go up, but I live streamed the other day or tonight or last night, whatever it was. And going to be doing it a lot more up until the event, right? We have 3 days left, basically, 3 days into the event, so I want to make as many decks as possible. So yeah, that's going to do it for me. As always, peace. Alright, so I made a snap decision there at the end. We are going to be keeping the VODs that I'm making out of this live stream. We're going to be keeping it down to 2, but that'll be perfectly fine. 1.4 Ebon Legion seems much more powerful than Venerable Knight. Yeah, probably is, Alex. I just want to play some new cards, So some of these decks are not going to be optimized simply for the fact that I'm trying to play the new cards, right? I'm trying to like Embercleave. I got pretty stoked when I saw it spoiled. Yeah, Embercleave just seems kind of nice. Looks like a nice beat fest kind of deck, my fave. Yeah. Yep, it's going to be fun. We're going to be having a lot of fun in the events. And in the event, I guess, just one event. One event spanning a bit of time. So, when we come back, we have a lot of decks to check out. And here's literally a whole other list of decks that we need to be checking out. Okay, so trust me, there's no shortage, and if there's a deck that you're thinking of that you may want to suggest, go ahead and suggest it. But we may also already have it, in mind, in line. Let's go ahead and put a line through all these, right? Because we did the Knights deck. We did the mono green Stompy, but we didn't do Golgari. I need to put Golgari Stompy here. Oh, I hit maybe reanimate. Okay, so yeah. It may not be a reanimate deck, but it'll be Golgari. And let's see, we did mono white. Sir Alan. What is Sir Alan? Hold up. Let's go to advanced real quick. Future standard. I guess we could have also just sorted. Yeah, that probably would have been easier. Let's just go deck builder. Reset all my filters. Throne of Eldraine. White. Sir Alan. Oh, maybe I was thinking about going go wide strat, a mono white go wide strat with this. I'll mark it, and then I'm gonna unmark his name so we know, like, hey, we didn't play this exact version, right? All right, so we knocked out some of these decks. We still have a lot more to go through, but that's okay. You know, I don't have all the time in the world. It's not like I do this full time or anything. So I think making progress each and every day is perfectly fine. And we stream for 2 hours. I was only going to stream for an hour, so realistically, this is a lot more than what I planned on doing. Got a happily ever after deck idea yet? Not fully fleshed out, but is there going to be one? 100%. Fuck yes, there's going to be a happily ever after deck. That card just seems fun, right? I'm brewing one for release. Some serious jank there with that card. Yeah. The first time I read that card, I was like, what? This is crazy. Absolutely crazy. Alright, so I think I'm going to call it for the stream. Thanks everybody for watching. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, be sure to leave a like on the video or the live stream, wherever it may appear. And as always, y'all are awesome. Thanks for coming out and just chilling with me, I guess, tonight, because that's pretty much all it was, right? And yeah, if y'all see the VODs go up, don't feel a need to go watch them because you've already seen them, unless you just want to rewatch it, I guess. If you just want to rehear me. Anyways, thanks again for everybody coming out, showing your support. Yeah, peace. I think that's it. That's it for me.